Hey, welcome to the green room. How you doing there, buddy? Look at you. You're all leadsed up. It's a good-looking jacket.
Good blue. It's a
It
good.
is.
It's a
It's a
powerful.
vibrant.
Yeah,
blue,
it's
I
a
would say.
powerful blue.
I don't know about powerful, but vibrant.
It's like royal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like more royal than powerful.
It's hard not to comment on how blue it is the way I would say.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right. I mean, you did it.
I did, you're
When I
right,
put it on,
you're
I thought it. I know Tucker didn't say anything, but I'm sure he was thinking it.
He was definitely thinking. Tucker
Yeah.
got a haircut.
Well, you had your jacket.
I know
on.
Tucker did get a
Tucker's
haircut.
all
It looks
looking
nice.
fly over there.
Well, Richie got mad at me because I told him I was getting a haircut.
Richie has
I've never met someone more obsessed
with
with hair.
haircuts. It's
than
so
John
weird.
Ritchie.
It's so weird.
Excuse me.
What?
No, you don't walk up to people and talk about their hair all the
Oh,
time.
that's a good point.
You know, he went up
your
to Mike
own.
Angelina like
Yeah,
within the last
he does
month
with everyone.
and said like,
Dude.
"Oh, you decided to shave your head?
oh god.
His
He-
head's been shaved for
Forever.
3 years."
He tells Wechter that he should do the flower like every day. Like
What's the flower?
where you like basically shave the back of your head and turn the front into like a flower and it goes around your face in a goatee. So it basically creates a flower
Wow,
on your face.
I've never heard of that, but it sounds hideous.
It's
Whatever
of course
it is.
it's hideous.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds
Like,
like an
like-
unserious
like,
haircut.
Richie spends an obnoxious amount of time talking about people's hair. It is pretty wild.
He has good hair, though. I will say, like
Sure,
he
yeah.
is upped his style game.
Yeah. Instead of looking like a vagabond, yes, it is much better now.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
I feel like this is enough. green
Oh,
room.
is that you've decided that's the end of
Well,
the
I
green room?
mean, we started at 10:07 last time, so I feel like our people.
That's true. People,
Yeah.
but it's still they're here. We're here. It's not like we're here.
True. Are there a lot of people? No, don't say.
There's
don't,
Don't say no.
Yeah, don't say the number.
Don't say no.
Yeah, just
There's
say
no
yes.
one here.
Just
It's
say
just
yes.
us hanging
Yeah.
out. Except that won't really help with our actual
But here's a question
theme for the
from
pod.
Stokes in the chat.
Stokes.
Yesterday, you asked Elliot if he thought the NFL wanted the Chiefs to win, and he said he'd answer in a sec, but you never did
Ah.
because we went to the ad break and never. Came back.
Oh, so is it who do I think?
I don't
the
remember. Didn't Elliot ask me that?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
Elliot asked James if he thought the NFL
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
the
yeah.
Chiefs to win.
And
I think the
you're
NFL.
right, I did.
I think they want the Chiefs to win.
I think if they could choose, they would choose a 3.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think so. Yes, and have them as the villain next year and all that. Yes, that's
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a shame. Like I said, I tweeted at the moment the Chiefs won. Bring on the Chiefs and the refs.
I can't
It's what
do
it-
it. I know.
I-
I
look,
know.
I know. I generally don't like the ref thing. It is what it is. Adam Schefter tweeted about it. Adam Schefter tweeted about the penalty disparity between the Chiefs and opponents. Like that. Come on, man. That's Adam freaking
Yeah,
Schefter tweeted.
I know.
Get on board, Elliot.
I maybe I will by the end of the
You
week.
better.
I can't
That's
now.
where it's at.
Yeah.
Get on board. All right, we ready?
Yes.
Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast
Hmm.
presented by the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. Elliot Shore Parks, James Seltzer, hanging out. We just met a couple real ones. Shout
We
out
did.
to Matt and Ron. Matt's like a real one.
He
Shout out to
was.
his daughters. He showed me a video of his daughters jamming out to the Go Birds theme.
Oh yeah.
which
I
is
mean, it's a
bop.
great. It's a great
bop.
song.
It's a bop.
I kind of think if they win the Super Bowl, we should try to get that band to come play it live somewhere. That'd be pretty
What a
cool,
good
right?
idea.
Just like in Parks Casino, the whole band sets up.
That'd be pretty cool.
I have a cool story that I think you will really like.
Ooh, I love it. Okay, so just to set up, coming up, we'll do Inner Excellence. We're gonna get the Kellen Moore thing quickly, and then
Also, day 24.
oh yeah, day 20. Ooh, who we got for day 24?
Namdi Asamoah.
Nah, I think it's
Oh,
obvious
God,
who we
please
got.
Don't say that again.
It's James Bradbury.
Sure.
I mean,
Sheldon
he's still on the
I guess
team.
there's Sheldon Brown's good.
Jordan
Like,
Howard.
Jordan Howard,
Right?
You look at you. I don't.
Jordan Howard's a good one.
I'm the one who's worse at numbers, like we said.
He had like a moment though.
Remember he
Jordan
kept coming
Howard.
back.
Yeah,
He
kept
had
coming
good-
back.
The Bills and Packers games were good. Him
can't
lead
find the
blocking for Miles Sanders. Remember that? Everyone was
Yep,
going crazy.
That was fun.
Let's go with Bradbury. I think it's appropriate.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I'll say this. I'm not in on the ref thing. I'm very in on the Eagles should wear white gloves.
Of course they should.
Yeah,
It's-
I
we
am
learn our
very,
lessons.
very in on that.
So coming up in a bit, guess what? If you're in the chat today, you picked a good day to be in the chat because you're going to be involved in the show coming up. So we're going to be doing a draft where
Yes.
Tucker and the chat are a team. So you're going to.
Oh, I didn't know the chat was on the team.
Did you not pay attention?
I
to
read
text
all
me
the
things?
text, but I
I
feel
said,
like
I
that,
said Tucker. I mean, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make the choice.
You
yeah,
don't-
exactly.
But
Yeah,
You don't. But he said Tucker in the chat. Do you not pay attention?
Great
to
band
the
name,
text?
by the way.
Yeah, it is
Tucker
a
in the
good name.
chat is a good one. I'd be curious to read the chat.
Go
back.
check it.
Okay.
Tucker, am I correct?
No, I definitely put Tucker / the chat.
You put
Where did you
Tucker
put
/
this?
The chat.
It's fine.
It was
It's fine.
before James went to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
was before
fair
I went
enough.
So like
sleep.
5:45.
All right.
Yeah. It's definitely Tucker in the chat.
I was gonna text you at like 7:30. Like, hey, you up?
Yeah.
Just curious.
I wasn't. yeah, wouldn't have got me. But yeah, so the chat's gonna be involved. Tucker will be the official final
All right.
call. but the chat is going to help Tucker decide. So you get to be involved in this show here. Elliot trying to like.
Slay
I just
also
know.
worked
I didn't know.
out.
No. I just didn't know the
Serious?
chat was
Yeah,
involved.
right, his first year.
Yeah,
here,
his
he worked
first year he was
24.
in the 24.
Okay, I
That's
like that.
pretty random. What are some players like Brandon Graham changed the number, Jalen Hurts changed the number, Darius Slay changed the number? I'm trying to think other like famous ones.
Well, Shady was a famous one.
Oh yeah, Shady.
Reggie
There we
White
go.
Is an old school famous one.
He didn't always wear.
He was 91 his first year, then 92.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So that's a famous
It's a
one.
random like
Yeah.
switch to make.
There been wow.
I feel like 1 to
Worked
2, 2 to 1 feels a lot different than 92 to 91 or vice versa, whatever it was. You don't think going from a single digit number to like a number in the 90s feels like a bigger
He
change?
went from 91 to 92.
That's what I'm saying. I think, and Jalen went from 2 to 1. I think when you're a single digit, it feels like more of a number change.
Oh, sure. I didn't realize you were talking about that.
Yeah,
Percentage wise, I think it's better.
I mean, sure. 91 looks more like 92 than 1 looks like 2.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Sure.
I just feel like it's more of a visual change. Like Brandon Graham
Sure.
went from 54 to 55.
Sure.
And what'd Shady do? 29 to 25?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's it.
Okay. I don't think that was very
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
I think it's interesting.
I
I
don't
think it looks very different.
not interesting.
What?
Whatever it is, it's definitely not interesting.
I think it is.
Okay.
What do you think the best Super Bowl jersey to buy is, by the way? I was debating this yesterday. For this year, obviously, with the patch and I think
probably
there's
Saquon.
I think it's Saquon.
Yeah.
I think it's
Gotta
like
be a Saquon
when you
jersey.
think
It's
back-
a year. If you think
yeah.
of this year, you're gonna think of Saquon first. There are other guys you'll think of, but Saquon will be the first person that pops in your mind.
and he'll probably set the record for most rushing yards in a season in this
he only
game.
needs 30.
Yeah,
I
so
think
barring
31 or
knock
whatever.
on
So, yeah.
wood. Yeah.
All right. Inner excellence, and then we'll get to Kellen Moore. And then we're drafting.
Okay.
We'll tell you what the draft is. It's a fun idea. Also, shout out to Tucker for the idea.
It was a very
Tucker-
good idea.
Tucker just coming through today.
All right.
And he, unlike you, wants to include our audience in this.
I'm
show.
down to include the audience. I just
You know,
don't
no big
remember a
deal.
decision
It's
that
like,
they would be
no,
included.
Keep those guys
You should
out.
find the text where it says it was included
Okay,
while I'm
I
doing
will.
this. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just surprised
I'll
I don't
find it.
remember
I'll
it.
find it. You go ahead,
All
do your
right.
thing.
Inner excellence day 24, which is that right? No, that's not true. Have we done this for 24 days?
No.
Because it happened in the Packers game. That's right. Okay. Direct your heart's desires. Desires, especially what our heart longs for, are extremely powerful. They influence how we see the world and what we strive for. They fill our heart with feelings and fears and move us to fight or flight. There's like a whole long paragraph.
Sure.
I think this is really true.
I was too busy finding the spot just so you could see it right there. Me/the chat. You see it?
Yeah, I don't think that means the definitive team, but that is interesting.
What are you talking about? 3-team draft. Tucker said me and the
right.
chat are a
All right,
team.
fair enough.
Just take the
I'm
L.
happy the chat's in
Take
it.
the
I'm happy the
L.
chat's in it.
Take
But
the L.
so
L.
did you hear that?
Oh,
Or no?
Julia.
No.
Start over. Do it again. Sorry.
Okay.
My fault.
Direct your
Maybe
heart.
Elliot just believed us from the beginning.
I believed you. I just don't remember
You
it.
didn't. We're like,
I
find
just
the
don't
text. You
remember
literally
it.
said find the text. Now go ahead.
Direct your heart's desires. Desires, especially what our hearts long for, are extremely powerful. They influence how we see the world and what we strive for. They fill our heart with feelings and fears and move us to fight or flight.
Sure. I mean, it's just yes, what you want fills your heart with desire. I don't think he's saying anything like groundbreaking.
Well, I think what he's saying is when you
that's
desire
like a
something,
truism.
right? But so I think there's a couple ways to look at this. One, if we're looking at through the AJ Brown lens, like if he desires something, it influences how he sees things and how
Of
he acts.
course.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very true. Like when I desire
I just
something,
think
it's
like
very.
I don't think there's anything deeper to take from it. I just think it's a true statement. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
well,
saying?
there's like a whole.
I'm
long
sure
scale
there's
on it.
more
Yeah,
at the point. I think you found a point that was just like kind of a.
But I
true
kind of
statement.
I do think some people are driven by desires more than others, though, for sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sure.
Inner excellence.
There we go.
Day 24.
Really got to it. All right, we're gonna get to the draft in a sec. We'll tell you what it is, but first, Kellen Moore. So for those who might not have seen yet this morning or last night or whatever, it appears
Yeah.
that Kellen Moore is quote unquote in the driver's seat. Clearly, in
Well, I don't know
you
who
know,
else it would be.
it looks like he's going to be the Saints head coach.
Yeah.
Just waiting after the Super Bowl to announce it. Mike McCarthy was the other front runner, is taking himself out of consideration.
Yeah.
Another coordinator gone.
Well,
That's
and
what
it's
happens.
also crazy. Gannon left for
I know
Arizona.
it's the same state.
when the Super Bowl,
in the state, in the place. It's
And now New
so
Orleans.
nonsensical. Like, what are we doing here?
It'd be interesting to see if Kellen stays. You know, like
He better fly over the team. Like, I
I'm just-
hated the Kansas.
well, I think after that blowback, he probably will. I would think,
Yeah.
but it is funny to think he's gonna have to fly all the way to Philly
Yeah.
just to go back simply.
Sorry, you're about to be head coach. You're gonna
although
fly.
he's about to leave, so
yeah, and he's also about to get a ton of money. He can afford a flight.
yeah.
Dale Benson will send her private jet.
So I guess he took an interview Monday night.
Monday night. Yep.
How do you feel about that?
look, I don't think he was doing too much work Monday night. Like,
Right.
I mean, I don't like any of it. Like, you know how I feel. I don't think that these
Yeah.
guys should be interviewing for the biggest jobs of their lives and having to know about the Saints or watch tape on the Saints or do whatever the hell he has to do
Yeah.
while he's preparing for playoff games. So, like, I think the whole thing sucks. I hate all of it. You know, given the situation, I guess Monday night was as good a night as any.
I kind of like, so I don't think it's a good hire by the Saints, number one. Like, I think it's interesting.
Well, it seems like they couldn't. It seems like he was not their first choice.
Yeah.
Either. Yeah.
And we'll see how he does as head coach. I think he has a resume.
I'm not enthused. Yeah.
He has a resume that's impressive, but he doesn't strike me as head coach material. We'll see. But in terms of the Eagles, like, I think
it's funny coming off like his best game of the season. I think everyone agrees like Kellen Moore was great.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
Well, probably helped, you know.
Sure.
Like, but I do think while losing your coordinator is never a good thing, it's not going to get me too worked up about it, at least.
Well, look,
like,
here's the thing. The way I look,
you'd rather keep him.
I'm of two minds. One, it just hammers home what we've talked about for many reasons: the Saquon season, the schedule next year, how hard it is to come back after a Super Bowl, all that.
Yeah.
It's just another reason why they absolutely have to win the Super Bowl this year and how important and imperative it is. But I will say on the flip side of that, look, we just saw them have, they're in the Super Bowl with two brand new coordinators this year.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, we know they could do it. Like, we just saw them do it.
I do think
Kellen Moore's first year is this year and they're in the Super Bowl. So, like, they could do it again.
Well, I think a difference too is these are first-year coordinators with the Eagles, but not first-year coordinators.
Totally.
Whereas with 2023, they went with literal first-year coordinators. So I think when they replace Kellen Moore this offseason, you'll probably see them go experience.
Like Bobby Slowick or whatever.
So I think there's
like
a kind of clear one. I don't know how I'd feel about it, but Frank Reich feels like he's worked with Nick. He's worked here before. Super experienced. Has been a head coach.
I don't think Doug would come here and be an offensive
coordinator, but I wouldn't. I just think it'd be too weird with Nick. Being here, like the power dynamic
not
would
if
be
it
weird.
wins the Super Bowl, I don't think it would be, but I get your point.
Yeah, I would rather. I think Doug is a better like coach than Frank, but I think given the dynamics, I would take Frank Reich.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think I would take Frank Reich too, especially with the whole like.
Would you rather go Frank or would you rather go like younger guy?
I think I'd rather. Like, I'm fine with Frank. I'm fine with like Bobby Slowick or someone
like that. I feel like
someone
that
like
sense.
that.
Yeah.
You know, look, 1 year ago at this time, the guy was interviewing for head coaching jobs. And he got fired. Like, and like.
Yeah, I agree. I would take, and he's done it before. Like he checks the Kellen Moore boxes probably a little more than Frank does.
Yeah.
Now the issue is if you have Frank and Vic, like you probably got those guys.
Well, that's the other thing. I like about
whereas Slowick,
Frank will never be a head coach again, ever.
Slowick could potentially leave.
Sure,
like it wouldn't be that crazy.
It'd probably be a similar type thing.
Yeah.
So. All right. Let's get to the draft. What a fun idea. Shout out to Tucker. What we are doing today is we are drafting the ultimate Eagles Super Bowl team.
Yes.
So we have categories of quarterback, coaching staff, running back, receiver / tight end, offensive line, and defense. And apologies to the 1980 squad. We didn't see them. So we don't feel comfortable drafting them.
Right.
Like Harold Carmichael was a great receiver, I'm
right.
sure. I didn't see him play. So we're going to, no offense to that squad, we love him. We're going to put the 80 squad on the side. We're going to take the 04, 17, 22, and 2024 squads. And we're drafting from those squads in the categories we said, and who can build the ultimate team. Me, Elliot, Tucker, and the chat.
So, and a key piece of this here is it's like them in that game.
Yeah.
So
in if
you pick the offensive line for the 2017 team, you don't get Jason Peters.
You get
you get Vaitai. The only question I had, and I think I know the answer, but we're not taking in like depth chart here. So like if I take 2024 Eagles quarterbacks, I don't get Kenny Pickett. I just the starter.
I think it's just the
starter. Okay, that's what I thought.
I don't think depth charts.
So we're not taking into account they're like especially deep this year.
I agree.
Okay.
Now I think that can come into account for, I guess, the wide receiver.
Well, I was gonna say for running back, Tucker didn't put he didn't Clement down. I think he should be included.
He is absolutely included.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's the whole position
that's the
group.
point. I think people played. Like
that's a good point.
Like,
if they were in the game,
if they played in the Super Bowl, they count.
Then you get them.
That's the way I look at it. At that position. Like, don't give me a special teamer who then.
Right.
All right.
Well, I'd take Jake Elliott. So
yeah. Well, we're not doing kickers. So
all right. How do we want to? Do you want to just let Tucker go first? I guess it was his. Well, how about Tucker? You get to pick where you go because some people don't like going first.
So are we just gonna do a straight draft or are we like snaking it?
I think we snake it.
Well, I think we just go around the room, right? Oh, you think we should snake it?
Like I'm saying, so the person that goes third, it goes like 1, 2, 3,
and then goes back. So
that feels fair, right?
I don't care. That's fine.
I'll go third. I'll give it the chat sometime so we can decide.
All right.
So
want to do rock paper scissors shoot one time, or would you rather go first?
I would just think it would be easier to go first in terms of following it because the way we're sitting, but I don't really care.
All right, you can go
let's
first.
do that.
Yeah, you can go
Okay.
first.
Well, so I think there are two. I think there are three clear choices. I think the first round should be these three choices. Like I think it's so definitive what they should be. I'm obviously not going to say them all. I understand that this is. I maybe even could get this back, but we're not having an Eagles Super Bowl draft and anything other than Nick Foles being the first choice off the board.
Okay.
Nick Foles is the clear first choice. I think there are two other clear choices that should go the next two, and we'll find out if they do. But Nick Foles, done.
So, do we want to analyze each one after?
Well,
okay.
yeah, we don't have to go nuts.
Yeah.
I know that you neither of you would have taken Foles first. I
Right.
don't care. That's why I'm happy. Oh, good. Okay, good to hear. All right, good. I just think he's so clear. I mean, the guy played the greatest game in the history of the franchise in the most important game. Tom Brady threw for 505. He played better. Like this is, I have the best Super Bowl quarterback of all time.
Well, so what's crazy is when about this decision is, I think of the three, we've Hurts twice, but like if you want to say 3, 4, whatever, he's probably the worst quarterback. But in this specific
draft,
instance,
he is the
he's
best.
QB1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with
that. And I just think he's the best. I think when it comes to the Super Bowl, he's the best player on this list.
All right, I'm good with that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So there are two. I want to see if it goes next two because I feel so strongly about the next two picks. I'm very intrigued to see how they go.
All right. So here's some of my. I don't want to give away too much on like my board.
You can't give too much.
But I'm gonna take Saquon.
So that's one of the two I would have taken.
I just think
for what it's worth, I would have taken him third though.
Okay.
So my second pick is on the board. I'm not gonna get it because I'm way behind. I hate this snake thing. How'd I get?
Well, it just feels like the fairest way to do it.
Outrageous.
I just think Saquon's the best football player on this list. Of all the players here on the, you could say T.O. is probably right there with him, but Saquon's the best
I think
player.
you're going to argue in the Super Bowl that we're doing, because we're talking about, he's had the best season of all of them.
Well, what's interesting is we're actually doing this before they play in the Super Bowl.
I know what
I didn't think about that. Right.
Yeah.
So I also think there's a bigger gap between Saquon and the other running backs than there are for most of the other units. I think it's clear what the worst unit is on this sheet. That's pretty obvious. But well, actually, never mind. Yeah, I think Saquon. I get the best running back. He's special. He's going to give me 200 yards probably. I think Saquon. I feel good about Saquon. Also, we're going to do pandering. Feels good for a vote.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Tucker, let's see if you nail who I would have taken with the second pick or if it's the third.
So I'm between two guys.
You get to pick two, don't you?
And I do get to pick two. So I might just
maybe
both.
I don't like the snake. That does
I
feel
told you.
unfair. But it is the fairest way because he goes 3. I just don't like it.
I think who your third guy is Doug.
That is not.
Really?
I think it's a great pick, though.
I think, to me,
you should definitely
2017 coaching staff. If you get Doug, you get Frank Reich.
It's a great
and
pick.
you get Jim Schwartz.
It's a great pick.
I would take that coaching staff, and then I would take.
So is that your pick?
That would be my first round pick.
All right.
And then my second round pick, I would take 2022 Jalen.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a good one. What'd the chat want, by the way? Like,
they wanted Jalen.
2022 Jalen.
So it was a combined pick. I like that.
Okay. All right. So I have Saquon. I think at the quarterback here, at this point, you guys aren't going to take one. So I'm obviously not going to take one now because I can wait and get the one I want.
You can take.
Yeah. And also, like, I don't know, 2022 and 2024, Nick, is there that big of a difference?
But if we do coaching
there
staff,
is a big. Are you kidding me?
You get.
Are you
Kellen
kidding me?
Moore,
yeah, you get fan. That's good. Oh, it's true. We're doing
coaching staff.
That's a true. We're doing that's true. That's true. Okay. I think I'm gonna do. I mean,
I feel like I'm in a fantasy draft where I'm like hoping my guy.
I know. So I'm gonna do AJ, Devontae, and Goddard. I'm just trying to decide what the difference is between 2022 and 2024. I guess I'll take 2022 version.
I think that's probably the smarter call.
Right? Like, I mean, they're this.
Haskell?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Or I guess
Yeah,
Dotson
it doesn't
and all
matter
that.
there.
Yeah. I'm gonna take 2022 Brown, Devontae, and Goddard.
So I can't believe that somehow I got my top 2 picks in this draft, and it is based on the difference between the options. I think the 2024 defense should have been the second pick in this draft.
That's a good point. I forgot about
so far and away the best of these defenses on this list. It was by far the number 1 defense in the league, as we know. I can't believe I got Foles in the 2024 defense. Give me the ring right now. Let's go. Thank you. All right. So now I can't believe it too, because I get to take the 2024 coaching staff at the same time.
Yeah.
I have the I have Vic Fangio coaching his defense. I got Sirianni after a masterclass year, and I got Nick Foles at quarterback. I'm so happy. This is going my way.
So it was
Yay to everyone.
It was a good job by you,
Thank
bad
you.
job by us.
Thank you.
I do think not having anything written down for the defense
I know.
like made me overlook
But
it.
what people don't know,
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there.
Tucker, and there's nothing to write there, but like Tucker sent a little breakdown with the quadrants of like the players, and for defense, he just left them blank because it's just the defense.
Right. It does, but you're right. If it said like the guys, I probably would have. But
right?
Yeah, good job by you. All right. So I think your team's clearly the best at this point. But although I think Foles would. All right.
I knew you were gonna rip Foles.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good pick based off of this specific thing. All right. So right now I have Saquon.
Now though, I'm gonna get crushed at the end here.
Yeah, your receivers are gonna suck. Well, actually, not really.
I mean, it's not that. That's what
you better.
Again, that was the reason I took the defense, and I wanted the defense so bad was I just felt like of all of these things, literally all of them, I felt like it was the biggest gap between number 1 and number 2.
All right, I'm gonna take the 2024 offensive line.
Oh,
I just think it's the best offensive line.
That is clearly the offensive.
I already have Saquon. It's kind of like your defense thing.
Honestly, I thought about taking the offensive line instead of the coaching staff, but I had to go coaching.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like the combination of them and Saquon, I think they're the best offensive line. I think it makes
how into this I am. Tucker, really good idea. Like,
yeah, it's good.
When I was waiting for it to come back to me and I was looking at you, I'm like, are you gonna freaking take?
I just can't believe the defense sat there.
I know.
You could argue it should be the number 1 pick.
That's what I said. I said it's my top 2 picks.
No, you're right. It was a good one. This is
and
a
if
real.
It weren't Foles, like I would have. I thought they deserved to go 1.
You're right.
But it's me. I have to take Nick Foles.
Yeah. First. I mean, you're gonna win the vote. The defense and Foles are the 2 most popular things on here. Saquon's up there, true. Yeah, so I picked. So I have 2024 offensive line, 2024 Saquon, and 2022 receivers and tight ends.
Really talented.
It is, yeah.
That is a good offense.
Yeah. Well, it's the best offense.
Without
it.
So I'm gonna take, and the chat is clamoring for it. And the issue is like it's kind of a top heavy position group, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the 04 receivers.
I was gonna say you're going TO, aren't you? Yes.
All right. Well, hold on.
LJ Smith was good. Chad Lewis didn't play in the game.
I don't like that pick by you because
so I'm ecstatic.
Yes, exactly. Like now he's gonna like the worst unit on this list, in my opinion, is the T.O. Pinkston Smith group. So. Like you could say the 2022 defense, but the 2022 defense. I got lit up in the Super Bowl, and you take that in consideration. They did have a really good first half. We're not going to relay to get this argument. But
to defend Tucker's point, like you said at the beginning, Saquon and T.O. are the 2 best players on this list by far, and T.O. was amazing.
He was amazing in the Super Bowl, but like Alshon, Aguilar, and Ertz are better than those 3.
I would rather have it, but
yeah,
I'm not. I don't think it's a disaster.
How much of this was you, and how much of this was the chat?
This is mostly chat. I'm mostly giving in to the dozen or so people who keep just saying T.O.
Well, then make them happy.
Which maybe they don't understand the assignment.
No, I mean T.O. I agree. T.O. is the second best player in the
list.
And
Jalen doesn't spread the ball around. Jalen's gonna go
he's gonna target him a lot.
Yeah. Actually, with Jalen, it makes even more sense. So he has another pick.
Yeah, he has.
So I have another pick. I think I'm gonna take the 22 offensive line, which I would argue is better than
I think I was kind of just splitting hairs. The only
difference is you get Kelsey over Juergens, right? And
well,
I mean, I guess you get Becton.
Yeah, I think Becton is it's tough. Sayamalu, better career, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I just think this offensive line this year is the best offensive line I've ever seen. Like,
I think it's the best offensive line in the history of football.
Yeah, I
know we talked about that, but it's the Cowboys of the '90s are the ones that are always mentioned, and they should be. I mean, Emmett and the whole thing, but
right.
But I mean, what this offensive line has done this year. I mean, again, they're gonna have the most rushing yards ever by a team. You know, it's.
And also, I think like Milad is better now than he was then. I think it's close.
Kelsey's a big,
Kelsey, but Juergens has been awesome this year.
Great, but it's having Kelsey on the squad.
Yes. Okay. All right, I'm up. So I have a running back, receivers. I have an offensive line. So I just need quarterback and head coach at this point. So 2020
and
defense, yeah. But you didn't take a defense yet, did you?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm not going to do the 2017 defense. I think that's probably the worst of all 4 here. I don't super remember the 04 defense. I mean, they must have been pretty good. They had like Dawkins and all those people. I'm going to pick a defense. I'm going to go Or do I want to go head coach? I'm going to go Andy Reid. I just think the best head coach of all time. Like, at this point, I'm picking between Knicks. Like, what's the difference there?
It's a tough week.
And I also don't really know if there's a big difference between the defenses. No one likes the 2022 defense, which I think is wrong, but whatever. 2017 defense sucked, and 04 defense I don't remember enough about. But I get the best head coach of all time, so I feel good about that.
Okay, I think that's fair. It's a fair pick. Now, I don't know if I would have had the chutzpah to take Andy, when we're facing him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I understand it. All right. So I don't have to take my receivers and tight ends yet. Thank you for that. I can wait and get my 2017 group.
I think 2017 is an underrated group.
I think they're awesome.
Like, Ertz is the best tight end.
I wanted Ertz. So
yeah.
I at first didn't realize
Aguilar had a good Super Bowl.
I didn't realize if tight ends and receivers were going to be separated. Like, Ertz would have been like a very high pick.
Yeah,
if they were.
He was a really good He had a great Super Bowl.
But I don't do that yet. So I'll go with running back first because that does feel like the most open. And it's a tough choice for me between the Blunt, Ajayi, Clement group and Brian Westbrook, obviously being
Westbrook's
Brian
the best player.
Westbrook's the best player, but I'm going to go with the 2017 group. I think the group itself is better. What Clement did in the Super Bowl, I think if we're doing a Super Bowl draft, that lifts above for me.
Yeah.
So I will go with that. And then I guess because you both already have an O-line and the receivers, so I'll take the 2017 receivers now, and I'll just pick an O-line at the end. So
the only two O-lines left would be 2017 and 04, right?
Correct.
All right. Okay, so I'm up now. And so now I'm picking defense. So I'm correct that all three defenses are left besides 24, right?
Correct.
Right. Okay. I mean, I got to go with my boy. I'll go 2022.
Got to.
I mean, they almost set the NFL record for sacks, and
they didn't give up 40 whatever or 30. I guess they did give up. They gave up more points than the
I can't remember the final score of this.
41-33 was the.
Right. So they give up 30.
The last one was 38-35. But 7 was from Jalen, so it was less.
Right. Yeah.
It was 2 less points they gave up.
And the defense was good that year. So yeah, I'll take the 2022 defense.
Okay. Tuck.
So these are my last 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
So I need defense and running back.
So you're basically picking between, just to set it, Brian Westbrook and Miles Sanders. Yeah, I mean,
I hate Miles Sanders.
Yeah,
I thought Miles Sanders was a bum here.
It's so clearly why Brian Westbrook is that big.
Yeah, and then the 04 defense and the 17 defense.
It's an interesting one.
Which is an interesting one. And maybe because...
How much do you remember about the 04 defense? I'm going to look it up.
I mean, I remember.
I'm just curious how much... Well, I
remember... Because the other thing, like, Keith Adams started
Trotter
in the Super Bowl because Semino was hurt. Trotter came back pretty well. Javon Curse wasn't that great. Derek Burgess had like an unbelievable.
Derek Burgess was
wow. So they were second in points against that year.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean that team was just like a juggernaut.
A juggernaut.
So I think
maybe I should have picked them.
They have to be.
I think it's the 04 defense is the.
I think it's the 04 defense. I think we take Westbrook, and now I have like half of the 04 team, but I think Westbrook and the 04 defense is
correct.
Obvious choice.
Michael Lewis, Sheldon Brown, Dhani Jones, Jeremiah Trotter, Lito.
They had 3 Pro Bowlers in the
also,
secondary.
you get Ike.
And I get Ike.
Yeah, that's a good point. You get Ike.
Well, we're not picking special teams though.
Well, Ike's on the defense. I mean, he played. He was in the game.
No,
there's a.
Yeah. I know. I'm just.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I
love
you, Ike. You're the man.
Okay. So now what? Now
he had a interception, a playoff game.
In the Vikings game.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I watched the Falcons game the other day. So
wow. Where do you even watch that?
It's on YouTube. I have a DVD of all the 10 greatest games in Eagles history.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that one's in there, I guess.
Yeah, because it actually, I think it came out in like 08 or 09. So the last
a lot of good games after that, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I told Ike I watched the definitive history of the Eagles documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Came out in 03.
So
it's like we're doing really well, but we keep losing the NFC Championship game. Stay tuned.
The word definitive is doing a lot of work there, right?
But at the time it was. But yes,
it was.
It's an interesting word.
It's like we lost to the Panthers, but don't worry, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
So now I'm picking between.
And they did in 16 years.
Am I done? Yeah, we're done now.
No, we each have one more.
You have one more.
All right, what don't I have?
Fill out your roster.
You don't have a quarterback.
Okay, so I'm picking between McNabb and 24 Hertz, right?
Correct. Yes. Oh, this is an interesting choice for you.
They're very similar to me.
Well, also I think over the years, a lot of like people would come around. Like Don was a lot better than he had credit for at the time, and he was a great quarterback and all. But you have long been like even further to that. You've been a Donovan. You and I battled about Donovan Volt. You're a Donovan supporter. But you're
what's funny is I'm basically gonna end up with this current team, but Andy is that, which is also funny because I'm such a big Nick guy. All right. I'm gonna go. I mean, F it, I'll just do Hurts.
Just do
the dude wins.
Go right.
The dude wins.
Yeah, I mean, you already took Andy.
Also, here's a question for you guys. So, if the Eagles win the game, right, and I do my report card, I'm thinking about putting W for Hurts as like.
Oh,
but do you think people will get it? Like, I don't want people to.
They might not. Actually,
I'm worried they might think
I mean,
like.
I got it immediately when you said
maybe
it.
like if I gave him like a Z or something.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if people will get
I think
it
a W is good. Maybe I'll do W and then
I thought
put
it was,
win.
yeah, I think it's really clever.
But is it like demeaning too? I don't know. Something to think about.
Okay. What if you just did W for everybody?
Oh, the grades. Yeah.
Yeah, but Jalen's the one that gets the win.
That's true.
All right, so you want to recap the team?
Do you want me to make my last?
Yeah.
Well,
I have to decide.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So I have to decide between what is it, the 2017 line or the 04 line? That's correct. Well, I mean, I'm gonna take the champs. I mean, I'm gonna take Jason Kelsey. So
I think it's
17 line.
I think it's a
the right
better line. Yeah, I think it's. I mean, you have Lane.
Obviously, if I got Peters on that line,
Brandon Brooks
would
was
have gone
awesome too.
Yeah, I think it's a clear.
It's more and Wisniewski was good that year.
Yeah.
It's more the Vitae Wiz that
it's the
is not as appealing. But
I think it's the right.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, should we recap?
Yeah, let's recap.
Okay.
Did you write this down?
I did.
Okay. That would have.
I was like, I remember mine.
Yeah, I barely remember
All
mine.
right, so we'll go position by position.
Okay.
So James has Foles as his quarterback, the 2017 running backs, 2017 wide receivers, 2017 offensive.
So it's funny you have the 2017.
the entire
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Did we all do this? No. Okay, go ahead.
And then he has the 2024 defense and the 2024 coaches.
What a team! What a team!
It's a good team.
It's
a good
great
team. And who is your head coach? I'm sorry, Doug.
No, this.
The
This,
2024.
oh yeah, that's right. You have this.
I
year.
So you get Moore and Fangio.
I got Fangio.
Right.
I got Moore. I got my guy Nick.
Right.
One of the great coaching seasons in the history of this city.
I agree.
So you basically have the offense that put up 41 points in the Super Bowl and the best defense in the modern NFL.
Now, I agree. You have the best team, but we'll
My
see how
arms are
the
in the air for those not watching the YouTube.
we'll see how the defense does. in the
Well,
Super Bowl.
that's true.
You
No,
know, like
it's
it could look
totally
differently,
written.
but I agree right now.
Feel good.
Your team's the best.
All right, so Elliott has 2024 Hurts as his quarterback.
Feel great about it. Wins all the
He
time.
just wins.
Saquon as the running back.
That's a big pick.
2022 wide receivers.
Yeah, I basically have this year's team.
2024 offensive line.
Yeah, I basically have this year's
2022 defense. And then the 04 coaching staff with Andy. So you have like Andy and the
team.
current
And
team.
actually, for what it's worth, I have Jim Johnson.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
Oh.
So I think I have the best coaching staff.
What? Over Nick?
And I'm just
But this is 04 Andy.
Yeah,
This is before he
I
figured
mean,
it
like
out.
I said before, and
he was in the Super Bowl.
I think the Doug group's the winning coaching staff. Like they won the Super Bowl. That year was amazing.
Yeah, but I think they have the worst
I
coordinator.
think this group has a chance to beat.
So if they win the Super Bowl, I would agree. But I think that this year's coaching staff, in my opinion,
the
is
worst
better.
coordinators. Jim Schwartz and Frank Reich are great
Well,
coordinators.
no, they're all great coordinators. Like
Yeah.
everyone on this list, other than I would say they're all great
Yeah.
coordinators. I mean, I guess you wouldn't say Gannon,
Yeah,
but whatever. Like, I just think I don't know.
Okay.
I think they're the worst set of coordinators here.
Okay.
And then my team, I have 2022 Jalen, Westbrook, the 04 wide receivers, mainly for
There's a
TL.
lot of talent there.
Yeah.
People are upset about that pick, which like you told me to pick TL. Let's
Didn't
settle
you
down,
guys
people.
Tell him to do it.
I just think
and they're like,
that-
oh, I just said TO, not the whole thing. Like
The
hey,
pick-
That's
well,
how
yeah,
it
but-
works.
The Pinkston Smith thing is really what hurts.
Yeah,
But
and
like,
you get Freddie Mitchell.
yeah,
you
you
can forget
get
his
Fred
touchdowns
X
against
that's
Minnesota
true.
in the divisional round.
That's true. Like we just keep adding people to this list. Like all
I
of a
know,
sudden,
right?
the
I got to fill
coordinators
out
and
a
the fourth
53-man
receiver,
roster somehow.
but the backup quarterback doesn't count. Yeah,
2022 O-line,
Well, the backup quarterback counted for me.
yeah, it's
See
true.
what I did there?
the
Yeah.
04 defense, and the 17 coaching staff.
I think I have the worst team, but I actually think it's pretty close.
I
It's
think
close all
James
around.
has the best team by
Yeah.
far. I think ours are pretty comparable.
I forgot I got Jim Johnson. I think it's closer.
I won the draft by picking the defense.
So, but imagine.
That was the key. The key to the whole draft was me getting the 2020.
All right, well, let me say this: if you're not a Gannon guy, imagine the talent on the 2022 defense with Jim Johnson coaching. It's a compelling point.
I think this defense is more talented.
You do?
Yeah. Don't you?
Probably. I mean, yes,
When you think
I would
about
say yes.
Cooper and
Yeah,
Cam,
yeah.
These guys coming in and
2022,
Vaughn,
they were really, really good.
they were really good.
Yeah.
But I just think this is. I mean, obviously it's better. but I think they're more-
And like
they
for
have
the
talent
future.
all over the field.
Yeah,
Don't get
yeah.
me wrong. The 2022 defense, other than the Super Bowl, was very.
All right, so I have this written down as a final thought, but I think it should just be a question because
Mhm.
I'm curious. If this defense gets lit up by the Chiefs,
Oh God.
I'm just curious if it changes how you view Gannon in the 2022 Super Bowl. Because we agree going into this defense is unbelievable. Fangio is awesome.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's completely dependent. The thing is that it wasn't just that the points they gave up. It was that as you watched it, you could see them being outcoached. It was Andy with the jet motion and the little, those routes, and like you could see, like it was not like oh wow, they really weren't physical, right? It's like, oh wow, they're out coaching us right now. Like you could see it happening. So if I watch it and I feel like Vic Fangio is getting out coached, maybe
it'll make you feel different.
Maybe
about
I said maybe. I don't know.
No, I know. I'm saying
it probably won't.
Right.
But like maybe. But I think there's almost no chance that's how we're gonna feel. Like they might score points, but I don't think we're gonna watch it and be like, wow, Andy's really running circles around Vic. I just don't expect.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect either. The Vic stats against Mahomes, I also think are kind of pointless. Like, have you seen this tweet?
I have not.
So Mahomes is 8-0 against Vic Fangio in his career. Now
like
that's
the Broncos, right?
Well, it's the Broncos and the Dolphins.
And he was also head coach of the Broncos. Like it's one thing, like it's just a different thing to be a defensive coordinator and head coach.
I saw it was a kind of interesting stat. I just don't find it compelling.
I agree. I don't find it
like it's good research by.
I want to throw something else out that
that was not my final thought though, right?
No, I know. Okay, it's fine. We're gonna get to final thoughts now, but I had a sports one in there, an Eagles one. I'll throw it in there too.
Okay.
I love the tailgate Ted stuff. Shout out to Eagles fans, man.
I didn't see this.
The Eagles fans have donated like $20,000.
Oh, really?
Cancer,
That's awesome.
to his
Very
cancer.
nice.
It's some big number.
And the tailgate Ted, I know that's the Washington Commanders fan that took over Hard Rock
and all that. Yeah. So he has a cancer fund, like help people with cancer, whatever it is. And Eagles fans have they've been donating $55.23 to it, which is funny.
That is
but like shout out, Bill's Mafia does this, and it's awesome. But like it always becomes a story. This isn't his biggest story, but I just want to give Eagles fans a shout out.
Very cool.
Very that's awesome. Man.
Yeah.
Like that is so awesome. Oh, and one other thing, did you see the video? I think the happiest I've ever seen Jalen Hurts. Do you know what video I'm talking about?
Because I agree.
The
Are you
DJ
talking about?
Jazzy
Yeah.
If you haven't
the
seen
smile
it,
on his face. It was like
it's so genuine.
It's the first time I've ever seen
so
Jalen
happy.
look like a kid.
Right?
Yeah.
And
like
so I see him do the Fresh Prince.
Yeah. And a little smile after. It's like the biggest smile. Yeah.
I would feel that way doing with you. I totally get it. Like we grew up.
I do way too nervous to do it.
I know. I would definitely.
I will say he pulled it off well. Yeah.
He was ready for it.
Big time player.
But I am so happy you saw that. Like that's the happiest.
I agree. I saw it this morning. That was my initial thought.
Really
wow,
cool.
he really loved that.
Really cool. All right, let's dive in.
All right, so I have two, and I'll let you pick which one you want.
Okay.
One
I like this.
is related to shows and movies, and the other one is related to a change I think we need as a society.
Ooh. All right. So mine is movies. So do you
want to go movies?
May as well double up. Yep.
All right. So I think that when you're watching a show or a movie that's based in like the 80s or the 70s, but it's made in current day. So it's like, you make it in 2024, but it's set in the 80s. You should only use music that was out at that time.
So I don't think you have to do that, but like
I think it'd be very cool.
It's one of the movies that I'm going to recommend to you does that, which is a movie that I know Tucker loves.
Right.
Gets that. But I love that. Dazed and Confused does that. The whole movie is music that happened from in 1976 or 1975, whatever. It's only stuff that these people would have.
That's what I'm saying. Like only music that was invented when that was made.
Yeah, well, not just that. Like from that year, in that moment.
Well, I think you could do previous music,
right?
If you wanted.
Yeah, I get your point. I don't hate it. Like I think obviously if it's. So I'm going to use a word here that diegetic. You know what that is?
No.
So diegetic music in this case is the difference between like a music score, like the theme or whatever, and music that is actually taking place in the world of the thing. Like people listening to music.
I get what you're saying.
That's diegetic.
So they can't hear the music.
Right. So obviously if it's in the movie, it should obviously adhere to this. I don't hate it. Like, I don't know if I am like a hard and fast.
Yeah, I don't think it's like the end of the world. I think it'd be a cool thing.
I think it's cool.
It's a little challenge.
I always love when I hear stuff, like I said, where they only use music from that year. If it's a movie that takes place in 1975, I love that kind of stuff. So, mostly endorse what you're saying.
Have either of you guys seen the show Eric on Netflix? I'm guessing you definitely
I have not.
No.
Yeah, I have not.
It's good. It's good. I'd recommend it.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I started last night. It's about like a kid that goes missing and like puppets. It's good so far.
Okay.
Is the kid a puppet?
The kid's not a puppet.
Okay. So,
but there is a puppet in it that looks like the Monsters Inc. Big blue guy.
Sully.
Sully, correct.
Sully, not Mike. Okay.
Not Mike. Mike's the other one.
Mike Wazowski.
Yeah.
I have a daughter.
Good name.
It's a great name. It's a great name. All right. So Elliot graciously,
yes,
because he's watching movies and I'm so proud of him, he said that I could recommend some movies for him. Here's what I'm gonna say: get to him whenever. Don't feel pressure to watch it. As long as you watch these at some point down the road, I will feel honored and
Calendar
happy.
year.
Yes. How about that? Calendar year. Okay. Now you said 5.
It's gonna be a busy
You
December.
only have to do 5. I came up with a couple more because I didn't know if you'd already seen some of these, and also I wanted to be a little diverse with it.
Wait, so hold on, really quick before you start.
Yes.
Did you see Kneecap is coming to play at the Fillmore?
No way.
Yeah, right.
We should go.
I know. That's why I said it.
I would love to.
Right?
Yeah, they're awesome.
I won't understand a single
Wasn't that
thing
cool
that's
at
being
the end
said.
too when you find out they're
Yep.
Well, it's funny because you texted me while you're watching. You're like, "Wow, the music's really good," and I was like, "Just wait, buddy."
That is crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So again, I chose these movies purposefully because I think you will like them. None of these movies are my top 5 or 10.
Right.
One of them is like top 15, but like for the most part, I tried to choose movies that you would like. I did most. I would say I only chose 5 of the movies I chose are from the 2020s. Or I'm sorry, the 2000s. So and then I chose a couple calmer, older movies.
Comforting.
I did there.
Yeah.
For you. Okay. First movie, I'll just say it's the one we just talked about. I've mentioned this pod before. Everybody Wants Some. Tucker.
It is a good movie.
It's a great.
I'm gonna
movie.
look up the posters for these as you go.
It's funny. That's what I'm talking about. Where all the music takes place in 1980 when the movie's being being made. Glenn Powell, of course, in it. So when I had to have one Glenn Powell movie on
2016. I wonder if I haven't seen this.
It's phenomenal.
This one guy, is that Keanu Reeves?
No,
it looks like
it's about a college baseball team. It's Zoe Deutsch is in it too.
She was in The Politician. I'm pretty sure
she was in. I think she was in The Politician. I can't remember. I watched The Politician.
It's her right there, right?
That's her.
Yeah. I'm almost positive that's the girl from The Politician.
Yeah. So
I like the cover to this. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so Everybody Wants Some. I think you'll love it. It's a super entertaining movie. Okay. This one you might have seen. I want to make sure. Have you seen Whiplash?
Let me look at the cover.
It's about drumming. Miles.
No.
Okay. So
this one I seem less interested in than the last one.
That's my number one thing. This is my number one. Of all the movies I'm going to tell you, this is the one I'm most sure you will love. All right. I would bet everything that I own that you love.
It's got the insurance guy in it.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Yes. I would bet everything I own you like this movie.
Okay.
I would bet my life you like this movie.
All right.
Okay.
Well, it'd be tough for me to tell you if I don't like it at this point.
Well, no, be real.
I know.
I want you to be real. I know you will. You will love it. Tucker, you saw Whiplash?
I did. And as someone who played drums growing up, it was very relatable.
And it's a great movie, right?
Unbelievable.
See, Tucker's here. Okay.
Unbelievable. Okay.
All right. He doesn't take me seriously.
10th anniversary re-release. That seems interesting.
He got nominated for Best Picture. He won Best Screenplay for it. Whatever. Okay. Arrival. Have you seen Arrival?
I would almost say no, but let me look at
Amy
it.
Adams,
Definitely not.
Jeremy Renner.
Interesting. This looks like Apollo 13ish.
Dude, it Arrival. I don't want to say too much about it. It is a beautiful movie. Like a beautiful movie, but it's also tense. It's awesome. Arrival is an amazing movie.
I think Amy Adams is a good actress for sure. It feels like she's in weird stuff. Like I feel like she does a lot of different things.
She's all over the place. I agree. But this is my favorite Amy Adams.
She was in
Denis Villeneuve.
Yep. Okay.
Amazing movie. Okay. And then the last of the 2000s ones, this one, I wanted to throw one subtitle movie in there just because I know you like subtitles.
Yeah.
Train to Busan. I've mentioned it before on this pod. It's a zombie movie, so I don't know if Kristen's into it or whatever, stuff like that.
Oh, it's got the guy from Squid Games in it.
Squid Games in it.
Yep.
It is Train to Busan's one of the
cool cover,
most amazing movies I've ever seen. I love it with all my heart. I've seen it twice, both times.
So it's not in English, correct?
It's in Korean.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. So and then
well, this poster's crazy for it. Look at that poster.
Dude, it's a crazy movie.
No one can see it.
Awesome. All right. And then I have one more I mentioned as a final thought already, but you should watch it. The movie Warrior. I mentioned it to you, the UFC movie with Tom Hardy. I did a final thought.
I actually think I had interest in seeing
You would love it, dude. It is Nick Nolte, Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton.
Wasn't there another movie that came out recently about wrestling? But I have not seen one.
Maybe. I don't know. But Warrior, you will freaking love, dude. It's a great sports movie.
All right.
Sports movie, you know? And then I picked 3.
I will say of those 5, the only one I'm not super interested in is Whiplash.
Which is hilarious because it's the one I'm most sure you'll like.
Have you guys seen A Guy Named Otto?
A Man Called Otto.
So good.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Yes.
Isn't it old? Didn't it come out a couple years ago?
Yeah, it came out like 4 years.
Unbelievable.
It's fine. You know, it's a nice movie. It's not bad, but like it's not.
I think it was.
What was your favorite part?
Honestly,
it's
all
a
of
man
it.
Called.
Yeah.
I like the twist at the end where he.
That was.
Yeah. It's been out. What's like the timeline for spoiling?
I don't know, but
I think we've never brought up on the pod.
Yeah, I think like 20. I usually think like 10 years is what but I'm,
I just think you shouldn't spoil it.
If you can avoid it, if it's something that's like like, you know,
Right.
The Usual Suspects has been spoiled a million times for me. I won't say what it, you know, anyway. All right. And then I picked, I have 2 90s movies and then an 80s and a 70s. And you could watch them if you want or not.
Okay.
A Few Good Men. Have you ever seen A Few Good Men?
Definitely
the
not.
One of these that's on my top 15. A Few Good Men, Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson.
Oh, I have seen this.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought
this
you
is
would've.
You Can't Handle the Truth.
Exactly.
And the baseball bat. Yeah, I
You
saw
have
that.
seen it.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Fugitive?
I'm pretty
Harrison
sure not.
Ford.
No.
Great.
I've seen this poster
great
so many
90s
times
movie.
in my
The
life.
Fugitive is such a great,
This
entertaining
looks
90s
like
movie.
Mission Impossible.
And Good Will Hunting's the other 90s movie I've mentioned to you before.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that.
You told me.
Oh, wait, no. I'm thinking of the one with Jack Nicholson. What's that one called?
That's The Departed.
No. On the cover's blue and he's like laughing on it.
As
I've
good as
not
it
seen it.
gets?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, no, yeah. So anyway, and then I picked 2 older movies for you if you want to try them out or not. An 80s and a 70s.
All right.
The Big Chill is the 80s movie.
The Big Chill.
Tons of great Glenn Close and Kevin Kline and
This
Jeff
looks like a
Goldblum.
comfort and calm movie.
That's why
Yeah.
it's a hangout movie.
Yeah, this
It's
looks
dope.
like
It's great music. It's
Unbelievable music.
like one, maybe arguably the best soundtrack of all time, like in the discussion for it. And then the last one is I picked a 70s movie, but you wanted some calm. This is like, it's about a football team,
I
at
like
least
it.
partially. It's called Heaven Can Wait. It stars Warren Beatty. It's just a delightful.
Wow, what a
ride.
cover.
Delightful movie.
Have you guys seen the cover to this?
Heaven Can Wait? Yeah. It is.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
It is.
It's pretty.
Dude,
That's
it is
pretty.
a delightful movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Emily watched it. I made her watch it. I was like, just trust me, I'll watch it. She freaking loved it. Like, it's an awesome movie. Couldn't recommend it.
This looks comforting. Not gonna lie.
See?
I'm liking the vibe. Oh, the Rams are in it. Interesting.
Yeah, it's about the Rams. It's about, you'll see. But
does this dude die and come back and play football?
Football is a major part of the movie.
Looks like that's what happens. Now this one I think you could spoil. But don't spoil it because maybe people will watch them.
I won't. So anyway, I really tried to, I went through all my movie lists, my top stuff, my best of the 90s. I tried to pick movies I really thought you would like.
I appreciate it.
Curated for you.
I'm going to watch them at some point.
No rush.
I mean, you should text me the list, by the way.
I'm going to.
Yeah,
Trust me. I was always planning.
I will definitely like throw them in that.
Yeah,
throw
but
them
you
in the
get there,
suggestions.
1 a month,
See if I can
whatever,
get Kristen to do it. Yeah.
I just appreciate you taking.
I appreciate you doing it.
Love it.
I think it'll be fun.
All right. Anything else? Good.
No, it was a long one.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat for being involved in the draft. We really appreciate it.
Oh man. No,
got
never
one
mind.
more?
I'll save it. I'll save it.
You sure?
Yes. Because I want to find there was this a real one told me an awesome story that you will love specifically,
Ooh.
but I can't find the exact details, so I want to wait.
Save
till
it for
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Save it for tomorrow. But
I remember it vaguely, but I want to read what
get
you
it right.
wrote.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. That'll be awesome. And then remember Friday, BLG in studio
Yes.
with us. That's gonna be super
And
awesome.
he sent us a text that
Get ready for some explosive.
the chat is maybe gonna be mean.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I can't wait. All right. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then. He's like,
That was very good.
yeah.
Good idea with the draft.